I'm Zach the Mouse Mandagi, and this is Midnight Spookshow, your online source for all the horror news, reviews, and interviews that you can scream at. And for this edition of Midnight Spookshow, it is a review of the film Rubber. Now, this is a film that is not yet in theaters, but is available in a pre-release through on-demand satellite providers, iTunes, Amazon, etc. So I had the opportunity to see the film before it hits theaters this April. It is directed by Quentin Dupikes. This is the guy who did Non-Film and also a movie called Steak. It stars Stephen Spinella, who was in the film Milk and House of D, as well as John Plotnick, who was in The Drink and Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Now, the plotline of Rubber. Well, here's the official description. This is according to IMDb. When Robert, an inanimate tire, discovers his destructive telepathic powers, he soon sets his sights on a desert town, in particular a mysterious woman whom he becomes obsessed with. Okay, so by that description, you're going to think, oh, this is a campy film. It could actually be maybe like a real cheesy kind of throwback to the B-movie era. It's not. It's not that movie. That is the movie within the movie that is Rubber, which incidentally is the type of room you'll need to go into after watching this movie. The actual plotline of this thing, if there is one, is that you have that B movie and you have the fourth wall being broken, meaning that the actors and everyone acknowledge it's a movie. And they actually have characters on the screen that are supposed to be the audience. They're out in the middle of the desert watching everything unfold through binoculars, and what's supposed to be kind of a very surreal meta type film. And then after that, it starts really spiraling out of control. The actors try poisoning the audience so that way they can stop doing the movie. The main actor, Steven Spinella, starts talking to the audience about the long history of films with no reason. One example is he says, Adrian Brody in the film Pianist has a brilliant talent to play the piano, yet he has to live like a bum. Why is that? And he says, no reason. Well, yeah, there is a reason. It's because he was on the run from the Nazis. And he gives like a ton of examples of films with no reason, and each of them have reason. Trying to describe this film, honestly, gives me a heck of a headache. In the film, the tire blows people's heads up with his psychic abilities. I'm convinced that the tire actually didn't have psychic abilities. I think what was happening was the actors were trying to figure out what the hell this movie was, and, well, after thinking about it too long, their heads blew up, and they just happened to catch it on screen and write it in. And if you don't believe me on this, then I dare you to actually find any of these actors in another movie after this. Honestly, the best way of describing this film is that the writer-director, Quentin Dupikes, basically took a dump on the audience and called it art. It is spectacularly bad. I honestly have to say, this is, as of now, the worst horror film I have ever seen. Honestly, it's just plain the worst film I've ever seen. It makes Troll 2 look like Shakespeare. It makes Thankskilling, another movie I reviewed a while back, look like Citizen Kane. The acting in this thing, horrid. They are just completely deadpan automatons throughout this film. It's I'm guessing it was intentional. I'm assuming because that's their quote artistic take on this Drek. It's like I said, just horrible. But I will say it must be the scariest film around because I have to admit that after seeing this film, whenever I see a tire commercial, I start screaming hysterically. So it must be because it was scary or, emotionally scarring. So that's my take on the movie Rubber. It is artistic crap, to be honest. I really can't recommend seeing this movie. Run for your life from this movie. So again, the movie is Rubber. It's going in theaters this April. I have a link to the trailer that you can see over at spookshow.tv. And until next time, Mouse Maniacs, from watching great horror films that are the complete opposite of Rubber, be sure to turn it up and turn out the lights. Cheers.
Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning.